The third game of the day. Yes, the Little Saints. Little Saints will be playing as they will be taking on the Hotshots captain team. As, yes, we've seen a lot of runs scored the last 2 days. Some dingers, that's from last night. And yes, look at that moonshot. Bye-bye. And yes, the wind was blowing out. Tough to see there. And the wind, well, funny, it's finally settled down. The flags in center field are not moving. The partitions, I should say, in straight center field are not moving. Along with Anna Welch, the head coach of the Arizona Christian Firestorm softball team. Yes, down in the valley. She wanted to come up too. You know, it helps her look at players. I know. I'm not going to get you in trouble. Can't talk about it. It's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest rule ever, and it's not your fault. I know you didn't inceptionalize it, but here in northern Arizona for some fast pitch softball and a lot of good action. I'm just going to say real quick that Bill Valley Field here at Yavapai College in Prescott, again, 81 degrees. And, of course, as I say that now, the wind starts picking up a little bit. But, no, I think that's the craziest rule ever. And, again, I get certain things, Anna, but even back in the day before, you know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, social media, Snapchat, any social media stuff, you could come and talk to me and recruit me, and I could sit there and scream from the top of my lungs and tell everybody else who came to talk to me, just like on social media, oh, Coach, but you talk to the coach about, oh, you know, you're looking at them. What do you see? They can't talk about them. It is the absolute. It is the absolute dumbest, in my opinion. Again, I get there's got to be steps and it's got to be fair. But if somebody comes, what's the big deal if the coach talks about like, yeah, I'm recruiting. You're not saying anything. Yeah, oh yeah, you know, came here to see it. Everybody knows a lot of times who they're coming to look at, and I don't know. Sorry. Well, this is a great event. I'm not going to get off on a tangent, but it's just crazy. But, I mean, as a coach, I know, again, it's definitely you see things obviously differently from up here. But, yeah, we've seen a lot of great softball. And the Little Saints on the mound is Sydney Poe.
Well, no, it's definitely great to be up here. Plus, it's a lot cooler than Phoenix, so I'm loving that. But the nice thing is I'll give the NAIA a little plug. NAIA and JUCO, we actually have different recruiting rules in the NCAA. True. So you know, a lot of people call the NAIA the Wild Wild West. When it comes to recruiting, we really don't have very many rules. So the good thing is I can talk to the girls. I can talk to their little sister. I can talk to their parents. I can talk to their neighbor, whoever I need to. So it does give us a little bit more opportunity to get to know the kids at a younger age. And we don't have to worry about who we're talking to and what date it is. So I will tell you I have that advantage. It's very nice to not think about those rules. That would hurt my brain. But, yeah, there's definitely the compliance side of it. So I know coaches they work hard to stay compliant, which is great.
And Summer Pels actually is behind the plate for Little Saints. As I said, Poe pitching. And for the Hotshots captain team, leading off, we do have number 24. I want to say that's Van Wickler. If I am stand to be corrected. Yes, Sarah Van Wickler. And her teammate, Mayo Bada. Just saw her in the last game, her high school teammate. As Van Wickler, again, the lefty leading off, a 4.0 GPA. Excellent contact hitter, and, well, being a leadoff, bunt, slap, drive, whatever. She's going to do it. Woo! Look at that. Steps right into the first pitch from Poe and takes it into center field. So your leadoff hitter doing the job. Get on base.
Man, she did a great job. Most leadoff hitters you see take, and again, that's okay to take. It's okay to see what the pitcher has. We really don't know what she has yet. But she got after it. She knew what pitch she wanted, and she did her job. She put up the middle, and now you got to lead off on first. Like, great job. Air five. No high five. Air five.
And Amaya Boustet now will come to the plate. Amaya had a very solid game. Their first game out. Did well at the plate. Look at that first pitch, and that's into shallow left. Oh, and coming on and making the catch. A beautiful job there by the left fielder.
2 pitches. It's interesting. Maybe they know the scouting report on Rowe. Maybe she starts with first pitch fastball. I'm not sure. We'll kind of see that as the game progresses. But it's interesting to see that there hasn't been a pitch taken, just to see what she has to offer.
Rowe again, yeah. Rowe definitely. It's a strike, but it gets away. That's the first pitch to Jolie Benson. Overhand throw of 69 miles an hour.
It's pretty strong. She's been fun to watch. You know, she's been the kid that the coaches use as a pinch runner. So every time the pitcher gets on, they use her, and she scored the last game. I mean, she stole twice. She's really fun to watch, knows the game well, strong hitter, strong player.
Heading into summer before her junior years, Benson takes a strike there from Rowe.
3.9 GPA as well, which is so nice. And it's pretty cool here. It talks about over quarantine. She helped her grandmother make masks. She made more than 800. They've been donated to the Navajo Nation, which is where it was needed the most here
Absolutely,
in Arizona.
yes, that is awesome. And a member of the National Honor Society as well, so. Yeah, those slackers with their 3 point. I know, well, she's got a 3.9, and again, it's ridiculous. And you hear, you know, a 4.63, a 4.83, a 4.887. It's just, wow.
Well, and she just got out. I think that's the only negative thing I have to say right now about her. She got out.
As Olivia Lostordo, the first baseman, wow, got ahead of that pitch and drove it foul. But Lostordo, yeah, she had that one play where, I mean, she stretched out unbelievably using the 6'1" frame, and maybe by millimeters the foot came off, I think, on effort alone. Again, not everybody deserves a trophy. Maybe the foot still was kind of on, but from the angle, you're right, it looked like it could have been very challengeable, like you said, but that is an insane effort.
Right. She got the out. They called her out. And the thing is, too, I hope that her parents get that highlight. That's definitely something, you know, to share, because not all first basemen do that.
Lostordo, well, gets under that into center field and almost lost that in the sun, but gets the final out. So stranding one runner on base, as that was Van Wickler.
And that ball was a tough catch. I know we all think that routine fly balls are easy, but right now, I don't know if you can see it on the broadcast, but the shadow, I mean, it's pretty much directly over us. So if you think about it, that ball was in the sun for more than even a split second.
Right. And it almost looked like, I was going to say, you're right, because she hesitated.
She did.
She stepped up, and it's like, oh, no, and she had to step back and make the play, but she still made it look smooth.
I love that she made the play, because I've seen kids, the second they lose it, they bail. They're fearful of getting hit. I don't blame them, but she didn't bail. She maybe flinched.
Right.
So again, just because you guys think it's routine, parents, do you think it's routine, coaches? Not everything is as routine as you think, and these athletes are doing a great job of making it look pretty.
Well, now we see Riley Nielsen on the mound, and she started pitching most of the games that I've seen Nielsen against Sabino High School, a 4.14 GPA. I love when other interesting things about me. She kept it interesting, but just kind of like family. I have two sisters. I am the middle child, born and raised in Tucson. She's been playing softball, like I said, since she was 5. And, well, just to let everybody know, she's a great student, and I like that. I've had all A's through middle school and high school.
Nice, nice.
But, yeah, I mean, we've seen our side. I mean, obviously at 5'10", but the rise, the curve, the dropping curve, the velocity, I mean, low 60s, but – man, there was a few of her pitches, and I know they weren't, and they were close to the strike zone. I got to say, I mean, I thought she was maybe almost about 65. I mean, I could be off. I'm just saying, like, it snapped the glove and got there quick.
And you can hear the pop from up here, which is nice. So we'll get a feel for how game 2, how she looks, and I'll try to kind of give you a feel of what I think her velocity is looking at this game. But the nice thing, too, is she has a changeup to complement that as well.
So Little Saints, again, with the uniforms that got the Old Glory, the red, white, and blue, as leading off, that is number 11, and that is Kylie Messmer. No, is it? No. Yeah, it is Messmer, sorry. It is 11, as she goes, well, right to second base with that. And again, Messmer not pitching. We saw her pitch yesterday, and man, if she gets on the mound too, it is just, whew. And again, nothing, obviously, Rowe is we've seen what she can do, but Messmer, she is an abstract artist, because she is just making a mess of the plate. And I was saying to Brian last night, Coach, that I would probably be out on 3 pitches every time, because I'm just swinging at everything she throws. I mean, even if it's a change, I mean, I could wait. I could see it's coming. I'd wait on it, but I'd be swinging it. It'd probably be 3 pitches for me, and that's all I would last.
Well, not only is that impressive, but she's their leadoff hitter.
Right.
Like, what does that say, about her? So, for those college coaches watching, there's no travel ball coach that's going to put somebody lead off if they're not valid and worthy of that. So that just says a lot about her athleticism and her ability even potentially her softball IQ to be able to be that leadoff hitter. You saw her take the first pitch and then try to put the second pitch in play.
As well, that pitch from Nielsen to Yaviana Bustamante, who's 3.4 GPA, again, goes to Yonker High School. She was a Southwest All-Region second-team player in 2019, so again, probably wanted to take that next goal and step make first team, but like I said, it's been unfortunate the season was canceled. It needed to be. Hopefully, again, people staying safe. Thank you to all our health workers because, again, a lot of people wanted to be stubborn with it, and it's an unknown. But we're back to we're hopefully getting back to integrating slowly enough in sports action to where it can happen. As well, she draws the walk.
And that was a good at bat. She got her hacks in. I think people think just because you swing and miss that you did something wrong, but her mechanics were solid. And what I like on that last pitch, it was a rise ball or if maybe a high fastball that most hitters are going to swing at with 2 strikes, and she laid off of it almost as if it was easy to lay off of. So that was impressive, and that drew the walk.
And now Summer Pels will step into the batter's box, who's signed to play at PVCC. Oh, and she swings at the first pitch, had the hit and run on.
Love it.
And, well, that goes into shallow center. A nice stolen base there by Bustamante. And, again, I think, well, we'll see. Because, as I say, I think they, moving good. I don't know if they would have. Oh, yeah, that throw was way, it was on the first base side, but it was way short. Had that throw been up, it would have been a chance. It would have been a tough play for, was that
I think you're right. If the throw is up, especially in a 3-man crew.
For Boosted, yeah, it would have been a tough play. But now you got a runner on second. A strike there to Pels.
I love that the Little Saints are putting the pressure on the defense. So, again, they forced their catcher to throw a good throw, and it didn't happen. Now we have a runner on 2 in scoring position, and who knows what's going to happen in this first inning. So I love that they're trying to cause havoc and create something, being aggressive. I've been known to be a little too aggressive, but I just love seeing that. I want to see that. Put the pressure on the defense, and it worked.
Well, Pels squared up the bunt last time, pulled back, does the same thing this time. Oh, but chases a fastball, and again, that one, that had a little jump to it. Little sriracha on that fastball because it climbed outside of the strike zone, but Pels had committed to swing and could not get the bat there.
It's almost like she had decided a little too soon, and you got to give it to Nielsen. She threw a pitch, got her out, did her job.
Bailey French talked to her last night. She had an opposite field home run last night, and she fouls it, well, off to the opposite field down the left field line for strike 1. So yeah, another lefty, obviously. Like I said, French, but she's not not looking like trying to. She again had that opposite field home run last night. So again, she's not trying to. She's swinging away, like you were saying, as that's a ball.
Yeah. And what's interesting, the Little Saints just put a pinch runner in. They just put a runner in for somebody who they had steal second. So I do find that interesting. You know, you chose her to steal second. She was safe. I don't mind the pinch runner here. I just maybe would have done it to steal as well, just in case a good throw, would have got her.
But you're not thinking maybe she'll steal, so that's why.
You're right. That's great. I love that.
Shock little legs there.
Yeah. You're right. I did think it caught him off guard.
I'm not coaching. Yeah, believe me, that was not the thought at all. But is French, a high chopper to short. Oh, nice fielding play. Goes down to the dirt, throws it over, but past first base, and the pinch runner will come across and score. And yeah, that was number 7. That was Elise Enriquez, who was a pinch runner. So the one run, as we'll see here, and look at that. I mean, hits it into the ground. It was a high chopper. Man, what a play. I know it wasn't an out and a pass ball, but the athletic play by the short. Look at that.
Yeah.
Climbing the ladder, reached up, falling down, and again, probably should have held on to the ball, but I like seeing making the play. Well, you're trying to make the play.
Let's be honest here. Everybody at home is going, she should have held on to it. Well, she should have held on to it because she didn't make the throw. But I'll tell you what, if she makes the throw, you're all saying, good job.
What a phenomenal, it was still a phenomenal play because
right.
Literally she's, I'd say about 5'7".
Yeah, and she had to jump up for that.
She literally used every single inch of her body to get the ball. And as falling down, made the throw. So the athleticism of that throw anyway, yes, a run came in, but
It's high risk, high reward. Yes, she could have ate it. Here we go. She'll finish this.
As that was Sawyer Snodgrass grounding out to end the bottom half of the first.
So she could have ate it. Most coaches are going to say, don't make the extra throw. And that's a good point. But guess what? It's the first inning. It's the first inning.
Right.
You know what? If a run scores, it's the first inning. Now, later innings, I want her to eat that ball. I do not want her throwing that. But in the first inning, 0-0 ball game, high risk, high reward. You make that play, and the inning's over. Your momentum is huge, and it's almost a run for your team because of that momentum. So I'm not against her throwing that ball. She's an athlete. I have her at shortstop there because she's an athlete, so the coach believes in her.
Right.
So I think at home, be careful that we're so critical of saying you should have eaten it. Well, right, because she threw it away. It's hindsight. She should have eaten it. First inning, 0-0 ball game, high risk, high reward. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just amazed as to playing the sport, like you said, playing the position she is at shortstop and looking at it. But to even make that play and but still to have the wherewithal to fire it over to first to first in the vicinity is, yes, it was a little bit up the line towards home plate, a teeny bit. But man, that is and
So here we go. Like I said, there's a pinch runner on second. Yes, she's going to score if there's an error made. But it's a slower runner at the plate.
Look
so
at this
so
leap.
she jumps up. Now, she does stumble, but look at this. Strong arm. There's time to get the out. She actually makes that play with a good throw. I love that she went for it. That tells me a lot about that shortstop, that she's aggressive. She's not afraid to fail. I'm sick of seeing people that are afraid to fail. Like, honestly,
Right.
I just started her name. I'm circling her name. Let's go.
Well, Sydney Rowe back on the mound as she sent the first pitch, and that is, yes, root. That's Skylar.
Oh, I think we have, I'm trying to figure out the lineup here.
It is 66. It's Skylar Williams, I want to say,
66.
who grounds it. Yeah, Skylar Williams.
Oh,
who
that's a
grounds it.
sweet pick.
Oh, what a play.
Oh,
Yes. Picked up there at first base. But, yeah, Skylar Williams with the ground out there. And then, I mean, you see that right there as Ivana Bustamante, who stole the base and then had the pinch runner.
Right. So Ivana had a great at-bat. She walked, stole the base, and just made that athletic pick. So coaches at home, star her, circle her, watch this again. Thank you, first basemen. The shortstops love you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, that throw bounced over to her as that's popped straight up.
Tough play.
Oh, got her, again, got the mask off, and that was Summer Pels trying to make the play there. And, again, a heck of an effort.
Sun right in your eyes,
Yeah.
it's directly up, and you didn't have
doing
much time.
you're doing a 180 and
Yep.
a little bit out of sorts, but, man, Pels.
If anything, on a shorter pop-up like that, maybe just leave your mask on and just really just try to still see through it kind of thing. But it's habit. It's habit.
Her favorite food is chicken. Ooh, her favorite movie is Nerve. That tells a lot.
Ooh, same
look at that.
opportunity.
And she makes that play there. And, you know, I was talking about flipping the mask off. She's one that both plays right away.
Yep.
Popped up. She's taking it off. And again, it's a habit. She's more comfortable with it.
If it works, it's
Yep.
fine. You know what I like? The adjustment she made. So normally we teach our catchers to do a 180 because of the spin of the ball. So you actually want your back to the field. Well, when she did that the first time, the sun was directly in her eyes. This way, she's able to keep her head in a different angle. So that adjustment from that catcher, honestly, was pretty impressive. Not many times do you get the exact same play to happen that you just kind of didn't execute.
Yeah, I know.
And we handed it to her, and she took it, and that's great.
Well, Kaylee Coos is in the batter's box and ripped that down the left field line, but it will curl foul.
Coos is a strong academic kid as well. Wants to go into engineering. Super impressive.
The one with the 4.83 GPA that I was mentioning.
Is that a typo or no? I don't think it's a typo.
Oh, that's popped to shortstop.
Rowe did a good job there jamming her. So she threw the ball in on her hands, and the hitter only kind of had an opportunity to get that, hands through so much. So that's kind of what equaled that pop up there to short because of that location from Rowe, which was good.
And that will end that half of the inning as Nielsen is getting the dusting off the pitching rubber there, and we'll be warming up again. You can see the wind now blowing straight out to center field, so picking up now going a little bit from left to right.
Yeah.
It's a swirling wind, and we've seen a few of these shots get a little bit hung up and maybe pushed out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and just for those watching, for the coaches, the fences are 210 down the line and at least 220 to deep center and 6-foot fences. So we've seen quite a few home runs. It's not a short field here. It's not little.
No, it is not. And we have definitely seen the power. It's a great shot there as we see again center field.
I think what's been happening too, what I've noticed is pitchers are they don't seem to appreciate the drop ball as much anymore. Everybody wants the rise ball because it's a strikeout pitch. So they try to develop a rise ball. Some work really well, some are average, some are high fastballs. And so they still throw that pitch. Well, that pitch can get hit over the fence. Where a drop ball, you're really going to rarely get hurt on that. So we're seeing, here today, I've actually not really even seen a drop ball in my games today. Everybody's loving their curve. They're throwing some change-ups, going in occasionally, and then they want to throw it high. They want to strike people out.
And, well, they've probably heard me because they would strike me out, but they're more disciplined than I am. But, yeah, Cheyenne Baker, who's in the batter's box. And I got to say, here's another one, Coach, her favorite movie. Like I said, she was the one who had a favorite movie of Grease.
Oh, see? Love that. Old school. She probably watched that over quarantine as well.
Yes, some of the best cheesy one-liners ever. But 1-2 count to Becker. As well, that'll even up the count at 2-2.
Yeah, Nielsen does a good job of throwing in, out, up, down, mixing pitches in. She's not predictable, which I like about her.
Yes, unpredictability. It's funny because you always hear so many, especially in softball, but unpredictability. But I just always go back to, granted, I know he wasn't a starter, but Mariano Rivera had one pitch.
Yes.
Couldn't really, he located in different spots, but it's still one pitch. And not too many people could hit it.
Yeah. And the good thing is he could locate it, so it almost made 4 pitches.
Yeah, true.
So when you're that good at one thing, don't be afraid to stick with it. I think what's happening nowadays, too, is every pitcher wants 5 pitches. Every dad wants to say, oh, my pitcher, my daughter has this, and that's what we're seeing. Well, as college coaches, we really just want you to be great at 3.
Right.
If you're great at 4, we're not going to turn you down, but we also don't want you to be average at 5.
Exactly. Ooh, Becker goes the opposite way into right field to play at first base. Oh, and she's out.
Woo!
Wow. And she ends up, she hit the bag hard there. Getting up a little slow. But
yeah, that's tough.
I want to see this on replay. Well, we will. Again, goes into right field.
That's a solid hit.
Yeah.
And she's robbed. It's a great job by the right fielder. This play is pretty common in fast pitch softball, but it's not easy.
Yeah, look at that. She's coming. She's charging in right away.
Look at that. Yeah. First baseman did a good job.
Let's see this angle because I don't know. Oh, she's safe.
Oh, yep.
She's safe.
Yep.
We got to review.
That's
Great
tough.
job, guys.
Can we go to replay? Should we tell them?
No. Oh, God. Do not start that argument. No, it's only showcase.
There we go.
Well, what a heck of a play, though.
You know what?
It was a bang. And look, in slow motion, frame by frame, that was awesome. But bang, bang play, she looks out. In real time, I can see where he's saying, but, man.
And 2 reasons I feel bad for that hitter. She crushed the ball, so you deserve the hit. And then, as we can see on replay, we had to watch it twice, but she was safe.
And that goes up the middle there by number 5, Lindsey Jackson, who's going to Park University. No play at first on her that time because that went into center field. And Jackson puts it right back up the middle. Again, like I said, headed to Park University.
Well, and that's a great hit by Jackson, but just think, if she hits it to right, it might be the same situation as her teammate, So a lot of times it just depends where you're hitting it. And the right fielder did make a great play. So we've got 2 hard hits here off of Nielsen. So let's see if she tries to mix in the changeup a little bit more. I think that's the first key thing that a battery has to realize. If you start getting hit multiple times, you've got to mix speeds.
Right.
We'd love for you to mix speeds before you get hit hard, but at least make the adjustment after you get hit.
Nielsen delivers a first pitch strike to Raina Gill, who's going to be a Puma at PVCC, graduating this year in 2020 from Sunrise Mountain High School. Oh, and look at that. Outside and then goes back inside. Just freezing the batter at the knees on the inside corner. And Raina Gill, even if she wanted to swing, it just it froze her a little too much.
Yeah, Nielsen did a good job setting that pitch up.
Takes the fastball on the, man. I'm not, believe me, Raina, I am not laughing at you because I probably would have grounded out after the first pitch. But that being said, like, it's just when you see pitchers do this, and amazingly you see offense too off these pitchers. I mean, it's just, look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, the delivery, I mean.
And she brought it. And, you know, we're not taking anything away from the hitter. We just don't want to take anything away from the pitcher. We want to give the pitcher, you know, what she deserves. And pitchers love that. They love to be talked about anyway. So, Nielsen, great job. Mama Nielsen, Papa Nielsen, good job. They like it too.
Kiana Bird is, nice throw down to second to the first base side, and she gets caught stealing. Oh, what a toss down.
That was a great transfer. Great throw. Shortstop did a great job. And you know what? The Little Saints are going to keep running. So I like that the battery was ready for that the shortstop was in position.
And, yeah, that was Olivia Lostordo, who was actually behind the plate. Man, well, what a play. First base, catcher. Yeah, she's not marketable, as we'll see it here. I mean, she gets caught, but look at this throw. Oh.
On the money.
Artwork. Well, let us take her out.
Woo! Now they get to hit.
Alexis Oleo leading off for captain as the 5'2" going, well, now to be a junior, plays for Canyon View High School in Waddell, Arizona, newer high school. And, well, she pops that up very high, but just not too deep as it goes to third base as Snodgrass takes it and it gives it back to Rowe. Yeah, Rowe, I mean, even from the first inning, I know they're up 1-0, but she has not been afraid to just, hey, you guys want to see power? And, again, we're fighting defense. And I'm with you. I'm not saying she's not moving the ball around the strike zone, but she's coming with the power, saying, go ahead, hit it.
Yeah, and they're choosing to swing at the first or second pitch, which is a fine strategy. But she's getting her outs, you know, but it looks like the Slappers are trying to put it in play here, so we'll see if they can.
And that's Adriana Coira. That is up to bat, the 4.66 GPA. We can't talk about enough. Number one in the class of 724. Back in the day, there were some small towns. People graduating in small towns. There wasn't 724 people in their high school. This is her in her class.
So impressive. And then just to juggle softball and everything else that she does. And she wants to do pre-med, which is so great because almost every college out there is going to offer that. So it just opens up, you know, that. She's going to get an academic scholarship wherever she goes. So I think college coaches, I mean, we love that because she's going to get a better package than what maybe we can offer somebody else of her size and ability, but she helped herself out in the classroom. So her marketability is so high, and it just shows what kind of hard worker she is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't be number one in your class and be a slacker.
Well, we've seen her, again, it says excellent range, but we've seen it at second base. I don't know if I saw her at shortstop at all yesterday. I've seen her at second. When she's done it, does she beat it out? No. Man, that was a slow roller to second base, and that was just crazy as making another good play for
Right.
space because it's Bustamante, and we'll see it here. But look at that. Makes great contact. Gets the momentum going, and she is. Ooh,
That's close.
She's out. I think it is close, but I think she is definitely out.
And that was a changeup coming from Rowe, which is good to see.
Wow, that is
First
crushed.
pitch.
Oh well, first pitch, and it looked like it was crushed, but
just missed.
she just maybe a teeny bit under it for the third out was Kaylin Parsons. Pardon me, and man, well, powerful hitter, great upside, and that ball. The ball may have had great upside if she would have not been under it so much.
I think they're a little. I love being aggressive, but Rowe threw like 6 pitches that inning.
I know. I was gonna. Yeah.
I think it's their strategy. I mean, it'd be crazy if the coach didn't tell them to swing early and often. But I really would like for them to see Rowe work a little bit more. I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not against swinging at the first pitch, but it almost seems like they're swinging no matter what.
Right,
and I do think if she would have taken that and waited a little bit more for her pitch, she gets a better at-bat. So I just don't like to see an at-bat wasted because we're not truly knowing what's going on, but we're just robotic and swinging. So would love to see a little bit more go deep in a count and make Rowe work.
And now we do have a new pitcher that is number 16 again, Paige Salazar. So there's their captain keeping to their rotation. It's been Nielsen and it's been Salazar right after that. So again, first few tournaments, and yes, you could either go with each for one game and then have the other one pitch the next game, or just get arms back
You're
in.
right.
And again, Nielsen has look, I understand for pitchers it's a little bit easier. I know not seeing a batter, but just to, like you said, working out with strength to throw it home, you have to have a parent or sibling brave enough to put the mitt on while it's snapping back to him.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, Nielsen has just, not that I would expect her to hold back, but it's not held back at all and just crushed the plate.
Yeah, seems comfortable as if there was no quarantine.
Yeah.
And we saw Paige Salazar throw earlier today, and she did a great job of mixing in her curveball and her changeup.
Yep.
What we did notice is that she didn't use her changeup as much until she got hit. I'd love to see her use her changeup earlier, and don't wait for the team to time you. So we'll see if she mixes it in a little bit earlier and if she kind of makes that adjustment.
Well, it says that about her, an effective changeup, as she delivers the first pitch, and that's popped up the backstop. Oh, but it just goes over it. And it says effective changeup, but it says great spins and movement. So if she feels like she can get that movement, I mean, that's another thing when you see, I mean, you know, any hitter throughout time, I mean, the old, especially I think of like a movie like Major League where he could hit a fastball. Everybody can hit a fast straight ball, but you start moving, well, the Serrano, no, you start you start moving the ball around, and then and then good luck with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As coaches, don't get me wrong, we love when a pitcher can throw the ball hard, but the harder it comes in, the harder it goes out. So we do need spin, we need accuracy, we need adjustments. We kind of need it all. Is that too much to ask for?
And Kiana Bird took the first pitch but lined it. That ball had a little spin. It was lower in the strike zone, and it was a sweet spot for Bird to hit it, but goes into center field for the out.
I think that's Benson out there in center. She just seems to be helping her team in every area. She's just really that all-around kid.
And now Nicole Armijo will step to the plate.
You know, and Paige Salazar, this weekend is pretty much her first weekend back since November. She's coming off of a broken collarbone. So she's not even at her, peaking right now. So a little rusty, but you can tell she's working through it. So, definitely something to note. She really wasn't able to, play in high school because of that broken collarbone. So good to see her back on the mound.
Yeah, looking good. I mean, again, coming off the collarbone, obviously, for any player, I mean, a pitcher is tough. But softball, they've always said, isn't it actually throwing underhand a more natural motion?
It is. It's more natural. Therefore, that's how we can throw longer versus baseball. And I'm not sure which collarbone it was, but can you imagine if that's her throwing arm? I'm gonna star her name, right now.
As Armijo pops that in there. Oh, it's gonna drop. Armijo's favorite movie. I do like this. Another animated movie, but Frozen. Which
there we go.
Olaf, the best character ever, ever. And just a. Lazily get that. Van Wickler was I thought if anyone could have made that play, I would have said Van Wickler could have made it with what we saw her do in the first game.
Oh, yeah. Now, it's interesting. They're up 1. There is 1 out. Now, remember how aggressive the Little Saints have been. I'm interested to see if they're going to send her on this. And if you can see, you guys can't see on the replay, but I'll let you know the second baseman's covering right now. Short is holding her position because it's a left-handed hitter up.
Right.
Second base is covering on the pitch. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to steal in fast pitch softball when the second baseman covers. So
as Megan Urkawa.
There's a changeup from Paige. I would not be surprised if we see a runner go here, especially with Salazar throwing changeups quite a bit. With that combination of second baseman covering, you're aggressive, and a changeup, I'd like to see her go here and make something happen.
So Urkawa trying to, well, see if she's just trying to swing away up in the batter's box. It looks like she is, and man, she ends up striking out on that pitch there, which will, well, now bring up to the plate another lefty, as we will go back to Miss Kylie Messmer, who the leadoff hitter, a lefty, a solid pitcher. We'll see the strikeout here on the replay.
Yep, it's a good curveball.
Yeah. Oh, that just, I mean, look at this again. It just drops away, and Urkawa just reaching out, but Messmer will take ball one, being patient. That's why I like seeing pitchers hit, too, because a lot of times they're like, go ahead, throw me something you think I'm going to swing at.
You're right. Well, I think we're right now with that replay, too, you could see Salazar spin. You know,
right.
we don't just tell you that the coaches tell us she has spin. We want you to see it as well.
Ooh, I don't know if Messmer agreed with that. She stood there for a second, thought maybe that was a little too far
she didn't
inside.
Like it. She
It
didn't
was
like
at the knees. I mean,
love
look, it was strike zone-wise, it was there. It was a little bit above the knees, but was it a little bit too far inside? So
hitters aren't used to seeing in as much because all pitchers, for some reason,
look
going
at that.
away.
Well, that was away, and what does Messmer do? Just guides it into right field. Runner going to third. The throw goes there. She's safe. It's an overthrow, and that'll put Messmer, again, nice solid fluid swing there, and took it into right center as Van Wickler got up to it. And we'll see on the replay here. She had a hell of a throw in, but just a little too much on it.
On this play, the second baseman actually, for some reason, jabs right before the ball. She must have misread it. I don't love that the right fielder threw to third. This is an automatic first to third play. That's a very tough out. I don't know any time a right fielder's going to throw that girl out on that play. The Little Saints are aggressive. You've got to know they're moving, on the contact. I'd love to see that ball go into two or go to the cut, and that way the batted runner stays off second. Now you have a first and third with two outs. Versus now you have a second and third. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw, but the throw got away from the third baseman. That's a tough throw.
Yeah.
Luckily, Salazar had a high softball IQ, was backing up the play and stopped it. Salazar saved a run. I would just like to see that ball never go to third on that, but let's see if Salazar can get herself out of this. Nobody scored, which is good, but now we do have two runners in scoring position, which could have just been one.
Well, this is crazy. Now Listordo is back at first base. I don't know if people notice that defensively, Coach. And Williams is back behind the plate. So, again, the dominance, the flexibility there. But we'll see. And now that looks like that is number 17 that is up. That's Ivana Bustamante, who had the hit.
Had a great day so
far.
far.
Stolen base defensively. And we'll see what Salazar, starts her off with a strike as she swung through that to Bustamante.
And she's got a good swing. I'd like to see her keep her hands inside the ball a little bit more. She'll have more success. But, man, if she's going to make contact, guys, that ball's going to go. She's got a strong swing, strong top hand, and she's a good athlete.
Well, she's actually headed to Ohio Christian as Bustamante as she goes to the opposite field, into left field. One run is going to score. Ooh, Messmer, what a throw to home. Messmer would have been just absolute. She would probably been in the three-quarters of the way there and been tagged out. What a throw from left field.
That was a really good throw, and it saved a run. And what's nice, though, again, two plays ago.
They got the run, but, it saved the second
run. By the Little Saints getting second on the play prior, here you go. You see her keeping her hands inside the ball. She goes opposite field, scores a run. It forces captain's team to throw home because of that runner that got to second. It forces them. They round it hard. Draws the throw. If this ball gets away, then now you have, again, runners on second and third. That's a great aggressive base running there by the Little Saints.
Runners on first and third, and now, Bustamante didn't even slide. What a great throw there by Williams, who for some reason wasn't behind the plate last inning, but Listordo made the same throw.
The umpire is making a safe call, but not explaining anything to anybody right now. Not sure. Maybe he's messing around.
Yeah, I have no clue.
We had the third
'Cause
out at
both teams are off.
second.
Yeah.
I wonder if he thought there was only one out and he was calling the runner at third because she did try to advance. But the third out happened prior to her hitting home plate. Therefore, it's the end of the inning.
Yep.
What I would have loved there to see the runner going to second is not run into an out like that. At least get into a pickle. That's at least what I called it as a kid. Getting a run down.
Everybody does, yes.
And maybe try to get that run home. But try to create a play. Be a great competitor on that. But instead, she kind of ran right into the out. But you got to, tip your cap to the catcher. She made a great throw. And tip your cap to the coach who did that switch, right? We had a new catcher back there. So good strategy there.
No, Skylar Williams started the game as catcher. And then Listordo came in last inning. But, man.
I'd like to see this inning. I'd like to see them take Rowe deeper in counts. I don't know if we're going to see it. It hasn't been their MO yet. But I really couldn't give you a good projection on Rowe because we haven't seen that many pitches. They're hitting her. I mean, I've only seen a couple of changeups. She's gotten outs. If I was Rowe, if I was the catcher or the coach, knowing they're swinging early, I would start to throw a changeup first pitch. I haven't seen that yet. So we'll see if that's something that they incorporate.
As now, obviously she was hitting, but coming back behind the plate, some repels. Only gets one warm-up pitch, and then fires it down to second base. So we'll see what Rowe does as Van Wickler again steps into the batter's box, and man, getting the put out from right field, the 9-1, which again, you're right. I mean, throughout the years with softball, you have seen it in softball. If the right fielder, again, definitely charging in, you always have that option.
Mm-hmm. First
look
pitch.
at Van Wickler, steps into it, but I don't know, maybe that delayed her swing. It seemed like it almost took a little power away as under it, but straight to center field, no problem for the out there.
I agree. And you know what? Van Wickler, she's a slapper, bunter. I'd love to see her go deeper in the count, maybe look for a bunt. First base was back a hair. But instead, trying to hit something in the gap. You don't always need your slappers to hit a gapper. You just need to make it on.
Right, but to what you said before, they're still working the first pitch right away. As Amaya Boostet will do the same thing, but that's into right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall, bounce off it. She's rounding first, and she will have a stand-up double. And, well, never mind. I'm done saying anything about them swinging at the first pitch because for Boostet, she put it right there in the gap to get the double.
Right. It's kind of like the fadeaway shot in basketball. If it goes in, you can't complain. So she got the hit there. I'm wondering why Rowe is still throwing hard stuff on the first pitch. They're super aggressive. Steve Captain's team's being super aggressive. Why would you not try to miss on the first pitch and make them swing and miss? Like throw it outside, throw in. But she's still throwing strikes. Now that one missed a little low, which is good.
Yeah, Jolie Benson steps into the batter's box, and man, we've seen her again. And Coach Jordan obviously talking about her athleticism, but she is very patient in the batter's box. And like you said, low and away, and I mean, she's just picking up where that ball is coming off the pitcher's hand right away, and now that goes into left field, back to the wall. Oh, and the catch at the wall. And, yeah, it's just going to be.
She hit that ball well. She is an athlete. She really impresses me. Everything that I'm seeing, she impresses me. So, Benson.
When heads up play, so right there by Boostet, Coach, because look, and we'll see on the replay, she actually went, she looked at it. But did she go? Well,
so that she left early. So the runner on second.
But I thought she went back and touched that. I don't know if we have it, but I don't know if I thought she went back and touched second.
So I think she went back. I was watching her. I think she went back. Now I think she still left a hair early because it was a Willie Mays catch that was hard to tell when it was caught.
Right.
Here's the problem though. So let's talk through this. So she goes back. But here's my question for all those watching. It's a deep fly ball by Benson, who's an athlete, who you know can swing it, right? It's a deep fly ball that called for a Willie Mays catch. So just a coaching tip. Do not tag on that. Yes, the left fielder caught it. And if you tag appropriately, you do get third. But here's the thing. If that left fielder drops it, that's hard to score. I would like my runner to be off. And if she catches it, tip your cap, and you got to go back. It wasn't routine. It wasn't a can of corn. So I don't love the tag there. And if you look at it, you could tell her tag. She was almost not as confident in the tag. Therefore, she left early. So now you just turned a ball that could have been, over the head into a double play. So kids watching at home, be careful that we don't get tag happy. It was only 30 or only 60 feet you would have got by tagging, and then if you look there, she left early. The Little Saints, what they did is they did what's called a live ball appeal, and they threw the ball a second, and the three-man crew called her out. Just so you know out there, you can do a dead ball appeal. You do not have to throw the ball physically to second base and tag the base. That is one way. But just so you guys know, it's a live ball. If they would have thrown it into the outfield, the runner could have advanced. What we like to do is a dead ball appeal. You just call time. You ask the umpire who's had that call. You just say, we'd like to appeal the runner left early, and they can make the play that way.
Well, and nonetheless, led to an out, and going into the batter's box now, that is number 21, the catcher, Summer Pels, who has had a solid game behind the plate. And Salazar, and looking at the wristband, getting the call as Williams still back behind the plate for captain, and that pitch outside. As you can see, the Saints leading 2-0. Again, both teams, Saints had a chance to score a few more runs, but same thing for captain, getting runners on base. But all pitchers so far, I should say, all pitchers have done a good job getting out of jams.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a great game. It's really just been the two base running mistakes that could have maybe led to something bigger. But it's been a great game.
And that is lined up softly lined up the middle, I should say, by Pels. Contradictory there, but yeah, just spins off the part of the infield and goes into very, very shallow center. So Pels will have the base hit, and now that will bring up number 15, Bailey French. And she has a chance to extend on this lead. Again, we saw one swing yesterday go over the left field fence, going the opposite way.
Yeah, that's one of those, that was a liner of the middle, but that's one of those where when I'm keeping notes, I write an SL. So instead of the L for liner, it's a little soft liner. But you know what? Right. She saw it well. She hit it where it was pitched, and she got herself on base. And so you got to love that. As a coach, that's what we want. So now we've got a runner on, and we'll see what the coach has here. Little Saints are extremely aggressive, so would not be surprised if they've got hit and runs on, or even a stolen base, maybe a bunt and run. Could be just a bunt for a hit, sacrifice bunt. They like to strategize, so it's definitely keeping us on our toes.
And first pitch, and that is crushed into left field. Oh, and I don't know if she lost it, put her glove up, but it lands on the warning track. Coming around, there's going to be a play. Oh, well, she had a big rounding of third, and she gets back in, and she is safe. But, man, coach was waving her home, but what a hell of a throw from left field there as Pels dives back in to third base. Now Snodgrass will come up. So we'll see.
That was a powerful hit. That's a double anywhere. Right. The left fielder couldn't have done anything about that, but she did make a strong throw. I know that the Little Saints is aggressive, but for the coach to wave her around even a little bit shocked me, because it's no outs. There's no outs. She's almost out. If there's a better cut system in place, if there's a cut home, that cut goes 3 and she's out. Now you have 1 out with a runner on 2. So with no outs, we want to be a little bit careful.
And that was Elliott Smith in left field, and it says good arm. I think it should say great arm. Yes.
Star that.
Because again, a little misjudgment, but making up for it right there on the same play as Rodriguez, the catcher, blocks that. And, well, the fans, of course, wanting her to throw it down to third base. Everybody's a position. No, I'm just kidding. But no, for Elliott Smith to make that throw again, I mean, put her glove up, and like you said with the sun, I don't know if she lost it for a second. It was a little high. It was a little bit more of a liner, but she put her glove up and then located it right away and just crushed the ball back into the infield as Salazar delivers a strike to Snodgrass.
Yeah, and her throw home allowed there to not be a run because the coach was waving her around. Absolutely. There was no stopping. So that throw gave her team a chance to eliminate at least the option of a run.
There's a ball right there. And again, this obviously with softball, baseball, I mean, just a decision time of needing to locate it the second the ball leaves their hands. I mean, as it's leaving their hands, locate the position of the ball, but then to swing, and as Snodgrass fouls that back over the backstop.
I really like what I'm seeing out of the catcher here for captain, Emily Rodriguez. There's a runner on third. There was a ball in the dirt a few pitches ago, and she kept it in front. She's very aware. We don't give catchers enough credit for all that they have to do, especially with the runner on third. So I really like her awareness and her athleticism. She's going to do whatever it takes to not let this run score.
Salazar delivers. Ooh, down the first base line, but it is foul. Again, just still a 2-0 game. Very, very close. Bottom of the fourth.
If that ball's fair, that scores 2 runs easy. Game of inches right here. So those 6 inches right there are definitely in the Hotshots' favor, being called foul.
And there's a ball low there. That is the head coach of Arizona Christian Softball, Anna Welch, joining me, Michael Caratino, our entire Floodstream crew. As, again, halfway the third game now of the 6 today. Obviously, there was 3 yesterday, 3 today. Or 6 yesterday, 6 today, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, whatever. Math is my favorite subject, as you can tell.
Change up. Oh, no.
Oh. Well, it goes. So now the bases are loaded. As Rodriguez, again, scanned the field, did not make an impulse throw. Not that I would, I'm not saying she would,
right.
But again, you get in that moment, you're like, wait, I got to go somewhere with the ball.
Right.
And it's like, you know what? They're on the bases, just let it go.
Right, so in that situation, I was just talking about how Emily was really being tough back there. It was tough. It was a really high changeup that did happen to get over her. The runner on second thought the runner on third was going to score, so the runner on second was really far off. Everybody wanted her to throw 2, every mom and dad in the stand, but she made a really heads-up decision by eating that ball and not throwing it, because we know the runner on third has been super aggressive. They're just an aggressive team. It's all we've seen in 4 innings. So that was a smart decision, and now they've got bases loaded. Should be infield fly.
Oh, yep, and it's a fly ball, so yes, the umpire I see pointing, so the infield fly rule. So even if the player drops it, the other player's out, right?
Correct. So the second that infield fly is called, the batter runner is instantly out. The runners are allowed to leave on their own. So they can tag or they can go if it's dropped, but they do not have to go. Right. They're not protected by anything, though.
Right.
Yep. So the batter runner automatically out. Now, that's something that you got to talk about with your team. We assume every player knows that, but you really got to talk it through with your girls.
As there is a ball there, as Lindsey Jackson, again, committed to Park University. Plays catcher, short, third, first.
She had a nice hit up the middle in her first at-bat, and I know she'd love to do that again with bases loaded right here to help her team out.
Yeah. She also cooks lunch for the team, too. But
she does?
While playing catcher, short, third, and first.
See, she does.
Oh, and that pitch just a little high to Jackson from Salazar.
So we've got bases loaded. What I'm noticing a little bit is the shortstop is playing a little bit back, almost not to go for. She's depleting a little bit and coming in with the pitch.
As that is hit very high, but it goes foul. As trekking over was Elliott Smith to try and make that play.
You know, and that's an interesting
Just a long
one.
strike, though. All it is a long strike.
Long strike. That's one of those balls that I think you let drop either way, because that's a run if you catch it. I don't think she dropped it intentionally. I don't think she got there, but that's one of those where are you practicing that ball? Should she catch it? Should she not? Do we give up a run for that out? Do we not? So that's what came up in that play. I just don't know that she dropped it on purpose. I think she just didn't get there.
So Salazar now. Oh, as Jackson rips it again. Oh, but it's foul.
Maybe
Barely.
12 inches.
Yeah, I mean, there's wherever she's. I think Salazar is going to stay away from putting the ball in that spot, because the last 2 have been about that area and have ended up down in left field down the line. And that one, the first one, very foul, but that one just barely. And that probably plates 2 runs, maybe 3, depending on how it rolls off the bounce.
But
really with Smith's arm, maybe not 3.
True. We won't know.
And that
Changeup.
Oh,
okay.
Effective changeup there. It just dropped. And, man, it seemed, I thought it may have been a little high, but it just dropped.
Let's talk about Salazar's confidence to throw this pitch. She threw a changeup in this situation. I thought it was a little out. I would have taken that too. From our angle, I thought it was a little out, but kudos to Salazar. You know what? I think the coach is calling the pitches from the dugout, but she didn't shake off. She felt confident in the changeup. She threw the changeup and got the second out with bases loaded on Jackson, who, this is my first time seeing Jackson. I'm impressed with her as a hitter. I'm okay with her taking that pitch. I felt like it was a little too far out.
Yeah, well, it was, but whew.
It got the
Raina
out.
Gill, it wasn't, I was going to say, but Raina Gill in the batter's box now, again, with the bases loaded, trying to get something done here with 2 outs, bottom of 4th, trying to give her team maybe a little more breathing room.
They started this inning with 2nd and 3rd, no outs.
Yes.
If the Hotshots get out of this, I'm going to stand and I'm going to clap because that's impressive.
Well, we did have Salazar actually, I think, came in the game yesterday with bases loaded as that goes to
Benson?
deep center. Oh, and it bounces off the wall. So 1 run is in. 2 runs are in, actually 3 runs are in, and, well, she went for 3 and got tagged out, but 3 runs still scored. Right. So that makes it 5-0, and, man, that was, again, maybe, what, a foot from, let's check it out here. That was a foot.
She didn't even
follow through and got in the wind. She's looking at it. She thought it may have had a chance.
I'd like to see Benson at least go for it with 2 outs, little Willie Mays if you could. So they got the out at 3rd.
The fence was right there, though. That's all I got to say.
True.
The fence was right there. I'm with you. I love the hustle, but when it's a fence,
So Little Saints did get their 3rd run in before the out was made at 3rd. It was barely, but all 3 runs did cross the plate before the out at 3rd. Therefore, it counts, putting them up 5. That's a big hit. Listen.
That was a huge hit. But I'm with you on there. Again, not – and like I said, of course it's easy for everybody to be an armchair player, coach.
Yeah.
But she hit it so deep, the 3 runs scored, and it's clearing the bases. So, I mean, the throw's going to, obviously, the left side of the infield anyway. I stay at second base.
Yes.
I take the long double. But, again, there were 2 outs. You just sent in 3 runs.
Right.
And you headed to the top of the 5th now, and you have a 5-0 lead.
You're right.
And as Sydney Rowe is still on the mound for Little Saints.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. I definitely think you could stay at 2, keep the momentum, and let your next hitter hit you in. I don't mind pushing it. Again, it goes back to the high risk, high reward. You're forcing the defense to make a really good play. But as we saw, Little Saints, they don't stop running. Have you noticed that? They do not put the brakes on.
Exactly.
So as much as we want them, we won't see anything conservative out of them. But I think college coaches out there, I think you'll like to recruit these Little Saints players because if anything, you can pull them back. It's very hard for us to get a kid that we have to push and say, no, you should be aggressive. It's way easier for us to take an aggressive kid and pull her back.
So now we do have stepping in to the batter's box, Olivia Lostordo, the catcher and first baseman, and we've seen her talents at both. Mostly first base and the first pitch. Well, again, happy with the first pitch from Rowe. Rowe took a little bit off that. Wasn't the fastball there per se, and Lostordo just able to foul it off behind the backstop.
I wonder if they're learning to throw the off speed. There's, Hotshots are swinging at the first pitch. Please throw an off speed or something, not for a strike.
And there's a fastball for a strike as another ball comes onto the field.
I don't know that we've seen Rowe get 2 balls on a batter. So my advice to her, even though you're up 5-0, is throw more balls and see if they'll chase. If they don't, go back to your strikes. Great, but man, make them chase. If they're going to be that aggressive, make them chase.
As Lostordo has to reach down, that might drop.
Yeah!
Oh, what a diving catch there from shortstop. Very shallow left field, just over third base, and she had a heck of an angle on that. That was number Jackson? 14, Alana Van Dorn.
Van Dorn.
And, man, what a play there. Just graduated, too. She's headed to GCC playing for the Gauchos.
Extension.
And, man, what a play.
I love that. That was impressive. Coaches, circle her, star her.
Well, they'll love her at Glendale Community College, as now that is Emily Rodriguez, who is a very huge power hitter.
You know, what I love about that attempt out of the shortstop is that she could have let it bounce, and it's a single, and nobody's mad at you. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. But she just said it's a single either way. Why not try for it? She tried for it. She caught it, made the out. That's what we like to see.
Lana Van Dorn. Wow. We've seen some great plays from the middle infield, and she may have just put herself in the top spot of the weekend. Tough to do, but, it's Rodriguez. Well, got ahead of that, and that's a very long strike. But, yeah, she would love to park a ball over the left field fence, and now see the wind kind of blowing from, well, now definitely blowing from left to right. It's swirling a little bit, but she, that looked effortless too, and she had a 15, 20-foot foul ball. Again, it's just a long strike, but I think it sends a little notice to the pitcher as that one's fouled to the backstop.
Yeah, I think if she keeps her hands in, she can get a few more of those foul balls to be fair. So we'll see if she can make that adjustment on this at bat. See what Rowe does. Rowe also hasn't had 2 strikes on very many because they're putting the first strike in play.
And that goes into shallow left, be a base hit for Rodriguez. Looks like she literally got that with the very end of the bat, and that's why maybe not so much pop to that, but still strong enough to get it out into left center field, a base hit, and that'll bring up Nielsen.
Yeah, Emily Rodriguez had a great at-bat. Really impressed just with her plate awareness. And she ended up putting herself in a great position and got a single out of it, and now her team got a little rally going.
As Nielsen started the game on the mound, Salazar took over as she fouls that back.
That's a good hack by Nielsen. And again, we've talked so many times about two-way players. Nielsen's a pitcher. She's a 2022 grad. She can hit. She's aggressive. She's not timid. Good all-around player. So she just had that big hack there. Interested to see what Rowe will throw here. Rowe doesn't throw very many balls, and the Hotshots are taking advantage of all the strikes. So if I were her, like I said, I'd go change up low. I'd try to throw something out of the zone. Let's see if Nielsen's going to be too aggressive and see if we can get her to chase something and get a little easy out.
And that, oh, well, wow, line to third for the, well, there you go.
That happened fast.
That happened. You said easy. You did not say that fast.
No.
I'm looking at the hit, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa, and boom, boom.
So this might be the quickest game that we have for not only the entire weekend, but the entire summer. When you run a lot and kind of, do that, when you swing at the first and second pitch, not many opportunities for pass balls, wild pitches, for seeing what the pitcher has. I really think I wish I would have been keeping track of Rowe's pitch count, but in 4 innings, she's probably thrown the same amount as everybody else in two innings.
Yeah, I mean, they started, a few minutes past the start time, but either way, they, I think, are going to get to the 7 innings before the time limit. That's just my guess. They're close as we head into, the bottom of the 5th now?
It's fast. I can't even believe that.
So, and we do have, that's Cruz back on the plate.
Yes.
So Cruz gets her turn up in the pitching rotation again. It's Nielsen, and then Salazar, and then Haley Cruz, who we've seen around, obviously, a lot of spots on the field. A lot of spots on the field, and that's what I was saying. I mean, especially like you said, you're just putting somebody out there not to fill a spot, or they're playing these positions, and people say, and I get that argument too. Like, you're playing a sport, big deal. Again, there are things that have different mindsets.
Sure.
And that just the approach to it. And I mean, you saw Van Wickler in center field, the play she made actually in the first game. Now she's in right field making plays. And I mean, Elliott Smith was in right field, shifts over to left. It's just, I get it being a showcase, but being good as you said. And Elliott Smith, again, the converted left-handed hitter. That was crazy.
That's
talking
crazy.
to Coach. She taught herself to throw left-handed when we were talking to her after the interview. But yeah, Kaylin Koch, who's headed to Stanford, said she just wanted to teach herself, learn how to throw left-handed, and wanted to be a slap hitter, contact, and then with that smooth swing, hitting home run. I mean, I'm just going to decide to teach myself to throw left-handed today.
We need to dedicate a whole segment to her in that. Now, guys, she literally is a right-handed kid. That it's one thing to teach yourself to hit lefty. She's taught herself. Now listen to this.
To throw lefty,
not
too.
only throw, she pitches too.
Oh, yes. She did, yes.
But she's taken. Otherwise, she'd be on everybody's.
Well, she graduated, but getting some play before she heads off to Stanford. Her twin sister, she's a twin. I did forget to mention that in the last game, but headed to UCLA as well. But Kiana Bird up at bat again, 13 with a 5-0 lead. And again, the more you get a lead, I know you want to be patient, but maybe a little aggressive. Ooh, and that was looked like a changeup there.
That was a changeup.
Fired over to first. Bird almost beats. The pitch seemed like it took a little bit to get there, but the ground ball seemed like it took longer to get fielded, but fired over to first for the out. As Listordo, again, we've seen kind of play she can make, and she makes the play right there.
That was a great changeup by Coos. Great confidence in that, and it got the hitter off balance, and that's what created that miss hit.
So Nicole Armijo on the first pitch goes right back to Coos, and look at her field, her position, and throws it over to first just like that, 2 outs.
I love it.
And that was on 1 pitch, so she had her first inning so far. Not too many pitches thrown.
And if you've only tuned in the last 37 seconds, you saw her throw an excellent changeup. You saw her get a hitter off balance and get a miss hit, which is what us coaches want. And then you watch her fielder position with ease. So, wow.
And then Megan Urkawa steps in. First pitch fouled down the left field line. And, man, well, again, extremely wants to get into engineering. So, a lot of math on that one, a lot of angles. Perfect for a pitcher.
Well, we need engineers out there, so we're glad she's going to go in that because I couldn't pass one of her classes.
And umpire, well, we got timeout called as looks like, yeah, Megan Urkawa stepped on. For some reason, somebody needed a timeout, and the umpire again got out of the box before Coos threw the ball, and Urkawa grounds it to third base, and
4 pitches she threw that inning.
Yeah, 4 pitches. I was going to say 2. The third baseman took half the amount of hops to throw it over to first as pitches thrown. So 4 pitches for Coos, and that is that. We'll step aside, but again, it's a 5-0 game as Little Saints leading, but we'll have more coming up here from Yavapai College. 2020 Fastpitch softball. More coming up. Well, Sydney Rowe getting set to pitch and leading off. And wow, well, again, first pitch. And that is a base hit into right field for Salazar. Again, just came off the mound, but Paige Salazar, she's like, hey, I pitched. I know what she wants to do. And she puts it into left field now, or right field. I saw Elliott Smith come. Now the left fielder, Elliott Smith, coming up. But look at this. First pitch.
Yep, helping her cause. I mean, she wants to help her offense. There she goes. Both players looked at their wristbands, so something's on. There we go.
Ooh, Smith tried that pitch tailing away from her and scored. Had the bat squared up kind of nicely, but the pitch tailed away, so fouled back for strike 1.
Another call on. Both girls looking at their wristbands, so we know we've got something.
And we go from the bunt to get her over to maybe the hit and run. We'll see as Rowe delivers. Oh, that is a ball. So top of the 6th here, these girls are just trucking along. We've seen pitching, we've seen everything as Elliott Smith. That pitch was high. Maybe they thought the hit and run was on, so the signal was, yeah, just give it upstairs, give me a chance to send it down to second if she takes off. But Salazar didn't, stayed at first base.
2-1 count. That's probably the deepest we've seen Rowe get into it.
Exactly.
2 balls.
Oh, Smith. Oh, it just spun foul. And the patience there, again, and not that she was right there, but if that had maybe went a teeny bit further and kept spinning, it would have been interesting to see if Pels would have picked it up to play it, but spun foul, so now it's a 2-strike count.
think the umpire behind the plate's not exactly sure the count, so he's trying to get that. But we've got 2 and 2 up here. Again, the deepest count we've seen Rowe go into.
Smith swings away, lines it to short, has a chance for a double play. And they get it. As Salazar tried to dive back to the bag, took off. And again, I can't blame her for you're leaning that way. She starts to go, and we'll see it here on the replay.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the runner. She's got to get her lead off with the pitch. It's a hard hit ball. That's almost impossible to not be doubled up on. You know what's interesting? This game's been going fast. That's the 3rd double play. We've had 2 line outs. So right here you see the line out doubled up, and then we had also a left early on a fly ball. So we've had 3 double plays in this game. But you can't fault anybody there.
That was a great job by Cheyenne Becker, the first baseman coach. She was as that pitch is popped up.
Oh, first pitch
by Brooklyn Flores. Oh, it drops down though, and Flores will. Well, it's an overthrow. I was going to say end up on first, and now she'll end up sliding into second. But yeah, but that was a great job by Becker at first because she was. It's almost like she blocked her.
Sure.
That wasn't interference with the way her body was. She still had it right to the bag, but it made it tough to slide back in. As again, left fielder coming on, a little miscommunication there.
Well, and here's the thing: they miscommunicated and they knew it, but they were so bummed they forced another error. Never let one miscue lead to a second miscue. You really want to put a stop to it right away, and that's why they say things are contagious. Guess what? That first miscue allowed for the second. So we'll see if that ends up hurting them. Runner in scoring position. We'll see if that run can score.
Kaylin Parsons at bat now. She takes a strike from, and again, we've seen Rowe go the whole game. As you said, captain has mixed up their pitchers, but for Rowe, she's feeling good. She's like.
She's only
and she hasn't had it, like you're right, that's true. People see innings as one thing, but pitch count.
Yep.
So look at that, puts the strike in there, middle half of the plate.
I'm just not liking the adjustments from, I think Rowe's pitching well. I don't think it's her fault. She's not calling it, but would love to see a conference and saying, hey, they're super aggressive. Let's mix it up.
Well, that's popped up, and that won't leave the infield as the shortstop gathers it for the 3rd out. And yes, Rose pitches very much down as Parsons pops out.
You know, and I think a lot of people would question what I'm saying. They're saying, hey, she's getting outs. Why are you saying she should miss? Well, guess what? I mean, if captain's team hits like they're capable of hitting, at any point this game can turn around. Just because you are getting some outs doesn't mean it's going to happen for 7 innings. Hitters adjust. So, yes, it's nice to get the outs, but, man, when those hitters figured out that you're literally just throwing a hard pitch for a strike, you're going to get burned eventually, or whether a team's in the stands watching you or whether my team's going to play you next. So be careful. Just because something's working doesn't mean you have to continuously do it all the time. Teams are going to catch up. They're going to figure it out. So just be prepared to adjust. And we'd rather have mishits. So we are getting a lot of mishits, but we really don't want any shots. So mishits are going to be created by pitching the ball off the plate, mixing speeds, things like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, she's just like, go ahead, try and hit the ball. And they've made contact, and the defense has made plays again. Like you said, the 3 double plays that we've had in the game. And leading off now for the Little Saints as Goose on the mound. And back for her time on the mound.
Goose had a great last inning. She got easy outs, threw a great changeup, and defended the circle, which we love to see. We want to see athletes in that circle. We didn't want to see POs. I had a former player once say, "Mama ain't raised no PO. We don't want just POs."
That is Kylie Messmer, by the way. Yes. As she goes opposite field, that ball's deep and tailing it stays fair, and she will just trot in to second base. Another double for Miss Messmer, the leadoff hitter. And again, Rose pitched so well at a 5-0 lead. We may not see Messmer in this game. They might be saving her for the next game. As little goes inside out there as that pitch seemed to be climbing.
But she got enough of it to go 200 feet. You know, there's going to be some fields that's a home run. We're playing at a 210 field at the double here. She got enough of it. She's strong kid, strong bat.
And now Bustamante, first baseman, steps back in. First pitch from Cruz there.
I love watching Bustamante play. I love her athleticism. I really like her swing. I want her to stay inside of it a little bit more, but man, she runs the bases well. She's a fun player to watch.
Cruz going to try and keep her honest here, but another runner in scoring position on second, and she takes a strike there.
I'm glad she took that. You know, she didn't like it. Yes, it was called a strike. I love that she's not just swinging at anything. She knows what she wants.
And, ooh, the pitch, and look at that.
Oh, got her.
Oh, nice play down at third base.
I didn't see that from the beginning, but I think that was a changeup. And I
was about to ask you,
yeah.
I was going to say it almost looked like a curve, but it was a little bit slow. But yes, and that was Keelan Parsons with the play there at third base. But wow, so there's an out there.
Yep, got the changeup. I would have loved to see her take that pitch. You don't have to hit that pitch. You didn't have 2 strikes.
And that is Pels that sends it into right field. Oh, and while she mistakenly rounds first base as Van Wickler comes into the infield to help out with the pickle. And now coming to home plate.
Safe.
And she's safe. Rodriguez can't make the tag, or a little bit late there on the tag.
They actually had the batter runner dead in a rundown.
Yes.
But the runner on third did a great job being a decoy. I think that the defense would have just focused on the runner. They would have got the out before the run crossed the plate. I think the timing would have worked in their favor.
Right. Well, heck of a play by Van Wickler. As comes in, she doesn't dive again, knowing that she and then fakes the throw. I love that. That was a heck of a play. Yeah, they had her in a pick. I mean, they could have gotten the out right there. I know you're down 5. You want. I get both sides, but I'm with you too. I take the out right there.
Yep.
Or if you're going to let her take second, just fling the ball to home plate. I mean, Van Wickler, she could have turned and just throw it to home plate right away. I know, again, to me, yes, that's probably not a logical way of coaching it, but that's that. So now French up to bat.
What I was thinking, there was 2 outs, so maybe I was wrong there. If there was 2 outs, you definitely got to get that runner.
Oh, look at French going the opposite way. And
see, the Little Saints, they run so well. The left fielder forced the ball home when the runner wasn't going.
Yeah, and
the ball got away.
Scored, made it 6-0, and then goes the other way. And now we're going to have a courtesy runner for French.
I love how the Little Saints have their girls rounding hard. So watch, you'll see the coach, he has her rounding hard. It forces the left fielder, she's not going to score. The left fielder's got the ball. It forces her to throw 4, then goes underneath. Batter runner gets a second easily.
Right, but obviously Cruz with a nice backup there. Oh, Rodriguez almost, but solid slide there by Messmer, who had scored. That was on the pickle. And another pitch there by Cruz was a strike. And that's the thing, too. I mean, we've seen it again. The more pitchers go through a lineup in row, I mean, still has to shut out going. Like you said, some hits. There's been some hits, and maybe not going with the changeup when she should, but aggressive hitting. And, is that ball? Oh, well, there's a pickle now, and she is out.
Good job by the defense there.
Yeah, that was Pels. Again, well, runners on first and second, though, but now 2 outs as Becker will come to the plate. And again, Becker's had, her last time up, put that ball into the opposite field, just guided it to right field.
It's a good job in that rundown. You want as few throws as possible. They did a good job getting that out, and nobody else advanced. You know, and going back to Rose, she's throwing a great game. You're right, she's throwing a shutout. I'm not saying she's not doing a great job, but can you imagine if the Little Saints weren't hitting as well as they are? Say this is a 0-0 ball game. Well, at any moment, one of her hard pitches for a strike on the first pitch, that's Steve Captain's team. One girl hits 1 home run, they lose 1-0. So please don't hear me as saying she's not doing a good job. I want more. I'm greedy. I want better. I always look for ways to get better. I look for little nuances. And so if you got a team swinging at every first pitch, use that to your advantage and make them chase. Please do not give them what they want. If you've got a team that takes the first pitch, groove a fatty.
As Coos right there with the strike, and I mean, oh, well, that one trying to see if she could get Becker to chase, but Becker does not. So runner still on first and second for the Little Saints, and Coos again, I mean, just coming in with and looking at the wristband, but pitchers again have been equally as good. You have Nielsen again over on first base now. Started the game on the mound as that's fouled off by Becker. Again, going to Judson University
In Chicago.
I was about to ask you.
Stomping grounds.
Yeah, see, your old shopping grounds.
My old conference.
Coos with the delivery. Oh, that's a beautiful changeup right there on the 1-2 pitch. Gets her to strike out. And, man, that was, again, it did freeze Becker obviously a little bit, but she did go to the outside part of the plate and the changeup, and it looks like it just got the outside corner.
Can we just admire this? Let's just watch.
Wow.
Yes.
And that was in the sweet spot of the strike zone, too. If Becker had decided to swing, may have taken that far, but just that last second was like, look at it right there. She knew it.
She knew
but
it. It froze her.
That was, yes, a very, very solid changeup.
So I grew up where my dad told me two absolutes. He said, never strike out looking. I'll get to the second one later, but never strike out looking. But I'm going to tell you what, guys. If we train our kids that it's an absolute and it's a horrible thing and we're going to yell at them if they strike out looking, they're going to become a very defensive two-strike hitter. They're going to just want to put the ball in play, and they're not going to care if they're out because they'd rather be out than get yelled at for strikeout looking. The hitter was fooled. It was a great pitch. Why can't we tip our cap to the pitcher and say, you got me, and be okay with every once in a while there being a strikeout looking? You know what? We're going to be
fooled.
Come
on, that's contrary to
my dad?
No.
Papa Babs?
Well, yes, maybe contrary to your dad, but contrary to everything's about offense and runs and this and that is very contrary to it. No, I 100% agree with you. I'm being obviously facetious there, but it's one of those things where as Rowe
just going to happen, you know?
Comes back out on the mound as we head to the bottom of the sixth now.
Wow.
And, well, leading off, somebody that can definitely get some offense going is Sarah Van Wickler. And she definitely, I just like that her favorite movie too is Aladdin. I wonder which one. I hope the one with Robin Williams. I mean, the new one is awesome. Look at that, Van Wickler.
Lead off.
First pitch.
It's a triple.
Into the gap. Well, she's just now hitting second base. Oh yeah, she's getting into third base, and she'll slide, but really didn't have to, as she has the stand-up triple. So, down 6, top of the 7th. Oh, I said bottom of 6. Sorry, top of the 7th now.
What made the triple so easy is that she's a lefty slapper. The outfield was in versus if she was a right-handed power hitter. If she was a right-handed power hitter, that's a single or a double. But the fact that they were in, she hit it right in the right spot, and she got herself to third base. Now, they do need 6 runs, so we do need to be smart.
Well, and now they have another hitter in Amaya Boostet that's coming into the game. And look at that first pitch, rips it into left field. Oh, off the glove. So Boostet, man, she's got to dig to get into second, but she does as the shortstop just held the ball. So look at that, back-to-back doubles, and they get on the board 6-1.
But let's talk about this. First pitches. So what have I been saying all game? I've been saying you got to move it around. Now everybody at home saying she's doing great. Why are you talking about this? This is why I'm talking about it. Because we just gave up a triple and a double.
Well, yeah, and not to, but most of these batters now, this is the third and or fourth time that they've been through the lineup.
Right. So can you imagine if Little Saints were only up 1-0 or 0-0, the game is over now. So we've seen 2 pitches. We've seen a shot triple and a shot double. This is why I'm saying learn the other team. If they're swinging at the first pitch, you've got to adjust, make them chase. And you know what? If they take a ball, then they take a ball. See what happens in the second pitch. So what I'm talking about is actually kind of proven true.
I'm sure that's probably getting mentioned at the mound as well as Jolie Benson now, another power hitter stepping in. A little meeting, though, probably to settle Rowe down and maybe a little bit. Now we'll see if Benson is eager to swing again at the first pitch like her previous 2 teammates have done and driven in doubles.
The umpires are looking up at us. I'm not sure if the game, they're talking about time limit. But now Benson has been the one player for the Hotshots that has taken the first pitch.
Right.
So I believe she'll take here. So Rowe can throw her fastball. I think Benson's going to be disciplined.
I don't know, though, but the last 2.
I don't think they've learned. There it is. Nah, a little high. Okay, so we'll see.
Benson
We'll see.
did take, and
But Benson is the hitter I want up in the situation. I really like her at the plate. When she comes up, I'm pretty excited to watch her. She's an athlete. She knows the zone.
and that, well, yeah, and making Rowe deliver to her as that pitch outside, so she's ahead in the count 2-0.
So first time, 2-0. Now, when I say two, throw more balls, it doesn't always mean waste pitches. It doesn't mean obvious balls. It's nibbling a little bit more to see if they'll chase.
As that's popped up into right center, and the runner will tag up.
So the runner tagged on that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That was not a routine play. The center fielder had a long run to come get that. The sun was in her eyes, and she looked a little flustered while running. Now, she made a great play. She was a competitor, but the Hotshots decided to tag on that. All you're getting on that is one bag, and you need 5 runs. I would like to see her get off, and if it drops, then you could potentially score or at least take third easy. So I got a little tag happy there. Not my favorite.
Wow. Well, that was boosted,
Whoa.
and that was crushed. Way foul, and that is Listordo. No surprise there. Obviously a power hitter, and got way ahead of that, because if she straightens that out a teeny bit, that's parked over the left field fence as Rowe delivers again. Oh, and Listordo pointing to the outside of the plate, looking at her first base coach, trying to say it was.
But he called that a strike?
Yeah, he called that a strike.
Okay, guys. No, sorry. Wow.
So
I was looking down, but then I looked up. That was.
I don't think Listordo agreed. Now she takes that pitch into right center field, trekking back. Oh, what a play in center field.
Pitch.
So it is a second out, but the runner tags up, so now that makes it 6-2.
Nice sacrifice fly. That was a really good cut on that. That center fielder made a great play. But Listordo, you guys watching from home, and she's really good. I don't even think I'm saying it right.
Listordo.
Yes, say that.
Olivia.
She's a 4.0, 6'1" athlete who can.
Tallest in her family.
Oh, she catches. She's done a great job behind the plate, and she's done a great job at first. And I've only been here one day.
Emily Rodriguez, well, on the first pitch. A little too much there. She pops out.
First pitch, did you say?
First pitch. First pitch. Rodriguez is a power hitter. She's had a lot of success on that first pitch.
True. I would like to see that first baseman take that away. That's a tough play for the catcher. I think, are we good on time? Is that what's happening?
It's not even time. That was the top of the 7th, so
this
they don't have to bat.
This game took an hour, and it's over?
Yeah, it took an hour and 25 minutes.
It's over.
But, oh, why are they coming? Well, no, they're coming back out because it's a time thing, but I thought.
It's like we're going to finish the 7th.
At this rate, it could be 3 pitches, but yes. That is the voice of Anna Welsh, the head softball coach at Arizona Christian. Where do you guys play your home games?
Well, we are playing them at Dream City Christian School. They're off of like 75th and the 101.
Oh yes, okay.
We've made that our home, so we kind of did a little partnership to where we're like, hey, we'll pour some money into the field. We'll get the mound and everything good, and you let this be our home field. And it's been a great partnership. They're wonderful to work with, and so we were able to go to the same spot every day for practice, where the years prior we're kind of going around the valley.
And yeah, I was going to say, because that definitely does that consistency, at least practice. I mean, the good thing about bouncing around is, you're getting used to going to different fields, but the bad spot is, at least for practice, you want something familiar.
You're exactly right. It was just nice. But you know what? My philosophy was, hey, I'm going to play your team tough. I'm going to beat your team whatever field we use. So let's go. So
Cruz still back on the mound as that gets grounded, well, to Listordo, who will take that herself, as she is able to do.
And that was Jackson who just grounded out. I'll tell you what, that at-bat really surprised me. She has impressed me all day, and I'm really surprised she swung at that pitch. A little bit out of her zone. I think that was unorthodox for her, and it got herself out. I think if she could take that at-bat back, she would take it back in a heartbeat. So she's a really good athlete. That at-bat does not say who she is.
And now we have Raina Gill on the up to bat for the oh, look at that. Into center field as Gill makes the contact there, and yeah, that was nice. It was a little bit of a lower pitch, but So now stepping up is 00 Kiana Bird.
So, coaches that are watching, it looks like we're going to play all the way up until the time limit
Time
tells
limit,
us
right?
to stop.
I mean, it gets to 7 this fast.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's a few more minutes, but that's not too bad at all. But I like Bird's favorite vacation destination, the Outer Banks in North Carolina and Florida. She probably likes fishing too.
Yes.
Just gonna guess. Maybe she doesn't. She didn't say it, but
You know, I'm happy for her that she's able to travel to the East Coast. That's great. So we might get more than 7 innings in here, and that's only fair to the girls. I think it's great for the girls. You know, we do keep score. It matters. But, hey, if we can get them a few more at-bats and we can see them a little bit more, that's great.
oh well. Oh, hesitation there by Rodriguez, and still almost got the out. Throw a little bit low. I mean, I don't think she could get that cleanly out of her glove. I think maybe that was the hesitation just a little bit.
Agreed. I do think a good throw gets her, but I still am almost like the little Saints. They run. The fast Saints, I'm going to start calling them. The aggressive Saints.
I love when they're asked their favorite college softball program. And to me, I like it because a lot of teams only have one, but some have two, because Bird went with Georgia and Oregon. And that's a ground out as Bird thrown out at first base. And now Nicole Armijo will step into the batter's box. Again with 2 outs. Again, approaching time, but they still get to bat in the bottom of the 7th, but with the 6-2 lead, and man, those runs came pretty quick. Oh, the soft little looper to second base. And well, the umpire looking over at the time. So
Might get another half inning in. I'd like to see the Hotshots hit one more time.
yeah, the captains, if
Looks like it.
Get rid of this adult stuff first.
I was going to say, the Little Saints are taking a little bit of time getting back on the field if they are. But, yeah, the Hotshots, well, they're ready to bat. I think that's Nielsen that would be leading off.
I like her leading off. She does a great job.
Yeah, I mean, what she does on the mound, she will be a very, very, I think, again, she's only going into her junior year.
Yeah, she'll be an asset. Whatever coach gets her, hopefully they utilize her in all areas. It might be a little bit of a shame if she's only used as a one-way player.
Right.
I think she's good enough to help out in both areas. I just love her confidence. I love her softball IQ, her athleticism.
Oh,
her
I can see her
awareness.
pitching and hitting cleanup.
I mean, she's good.
Pitch and hit cleanup because only a sophomore, obviously, you know, with the training, taking it step by step, growing into it, only going to get strong. She gets stronger pitching. She's going to crush quite a few. I was going to say deflate the confidence of a few batters.
Exactly.
Is one way to look at it. As look at that, Nielsen. First pitch, and Nielsen, look at that, puts it into center field for a base hit.
I'll do it.
As well, throw goes past first there. So look at that, runners on first and second. Dave, I just sent it to you. 33 and 24. So now stepping in.
I really hope
Look
we're
at that.
allowed to finish the inning and not the timer.
Actually, the runner on, I'm sorry, Coach, the runner on second was out.
Oh, she was. Okay.
She was out.
I want to see if we can get a rally. What can happen here? never consider a Hotshots team out of the game ever.
Well, Elliott Smith, the converted lefty, who steps in going the opposite way, but that will be foul.
What I love about our game too is there's not a shot clock. There's not a game clock. You can't run out the clock. You got to finish it. Now, obviously, some showcases we have clocks. It's a little different, but there's a bottom of the 7th, and you're not getting any outs. You get to play as long as you can, and I love that.
Pitch outside, ooh, for a ball. Well, either way, I mean, a full 7 innings for Rowe. But I get what you're saying, but still,
I know.
I should have been hashtagging pitch count. I didn't know it would be that fast, but her pitch count, again, cannot be up. But obviously, I don't think she's pitching in the second game. I think you'll see Mesmer in their second game.
I agree. If we do see her, we'll keep track. You know, she's throwing more balls. I don't know if that's because of the comfort of the mound and the coach told her to. I don't know if it's a fatigue thing. That's what's tough, is it's hard for me to gauge that from up here without knowing what that conversation was like.
Oh, a strike there to Smith, yeah. Softball always, I mean, even, you know, baseball umpires take a second, but softball umpires always mess with me because they call strike and then 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Then they put it, it's like, come on. They all do it. They all go to the same school. And look at that. Elliott Smith not chasing that. Draws the walk, so Van Wickler will head over to second. Smith down to first. And now we will see number 12. And that does say number 12, and I do not have a number 12.
Flores. Brooklyn Flores.
How did I miss Flores? Oh, probably because I didn't turn to the right page. That's why. For everybody watching out there, I know, bad broadcaster right there. But, yeah, no, that is Brooklyn Flores, who I should have recognized her by number because, again, she is in the first few innings, she was hitting the ball all over defensively. She was made quite a few plays. I mean, and, again, a lot of them have, so it's kind of easy to look at it as she will be heading into her senior year.
Yeah, I've noticed, you know, she really likes that inside pitch. She's got some strong at-bats to the left side, whether it's foul or even fair. She looks to like to go left side.
What a delivery there by Rowe, getting the strike. And she plays at Vista Grande, which is in Casa Grande. That's what I love about different players. And Cassidy Morrow, who we haven't seen, but she plays for Tucson Saguaro. As that's grounded right back to Rowe, and she'll take the guaranteed out at first base. Obviously, being right-handed would have been tough to go to third and or second at that point, but still takes the out, just like in Moneyball. Surprised I didn't see what of that as one of their favorite movies. And he's like, when their buddy's like, don't try and be a hero. Go to they're giving you a free out. Yep. Go to first.
And that goes back to our hit-by-pitch conversation.
Hit-by-pitch, yes.
I think that was the right play for Rowe. You know, she went to 1 to give her 2 outs. They're up 4. You get to see her field her position. She did a good job. Good runner, running to third. So that was definitely the safe, smart out.
Caitlin Parsons, just finished her freshman year. So the little pup of the team. I'm guessing someone that gets to carry the balls and has to probably rake the mound first. I'm just guessing. I don't know if that happens, Coach. I'm just guessing.
Sometimes it does.
The youngest one on the team. All the sophomores are like, yes. Woo! Oh, and look at that. That goes into left field. And, well, that's going to be a souvenir for somebody's car as, just like that, Parsons, powerful hitter and a great upside. Well, she showed the powerful hitting right there as she gets a 2-run jack. As Van Wickler will come home to score as well. And that makes it 6-4.
I don't think she's going to carry the equipment anymore, do you?
Yeah, it's still a freshman.
Ages, you know what? I don't know.
That's still, though, you still got to, can't let them get too cocky, right? Oh, and I think that's it. That is time. Oh, maybe not. Looks like we have a different
6'5", am I right? Is that what we have, 6'5"?
Yeah, but isn't it? It's time.
So, and again, that's what I'm talking about, that fastball down the middle. We need more changeups. We need to miss a little bit more. I really liked how Captain's team came back this game. If they could have given up a few less runs, it's a different ball game. But sometimes you run out of innings.
Well, they're still letting them go, but we're going to see a new pitcher. Is that Mesmer coming out? Yeah, it is Mesmer.
My guess is we're finishing this half inning. Okay, and I'm just going
to. They've stopped it before. I don't understand.
So that I just saw her throw one pitch. I'm directly behind the plate for everybody at
No,
home.
she's ridiculous.
Her spin
Yep.
was tight. I wish I had my ref fire here, could take her to the bullpen. So she's spinning it well. You could see the torque in her arm from this angle. So I'm impressed.
She was
I'm
homeschooled,
excited.
by the way. Played at Sunrise
Hey.
Mountain, so she was really bummed when this happened because obviously not getting to have the season. But a 4.0 GPA for Miss Messmer, and she's going to Biola University in Southern California. But yes, her. I think she had a.
Good for her. Two-way player again that we're impressed with. Athleticism, awareness. I like it. We'll see if that home run was a rally killer.
I know. Well, we'll see.
Sometimes.
Wait, actually, that's Van Wickler now that's stepping into the batter's box. I don't know. It seems like there's some jumping and batting. Either way, at this point, it's showcase, so maybe there is.
Yeah. Everybody gets a scholarship. Let's go. We'll be Oprah. We'll just hand them out.
You get a pitch. You get to hit. And Van Wickler pops that into left.
So does that end?
And that is the third out. I like Van Wickler Messmer real quick said, the day I realized I wanted to be a pitcher, I was actually catching bullpen for my teammate. After we finished, she was joking with me saying, oh, I should throw a few pitches. And I ended up throwing to her at every practice after that. She switched from being a pitcher to being a catcher, and I fell in love with pitching and have been a pitcher ever since.
That's great.
And with the spin she has, like you saw, again, I don't know why he brought, maybe actually it finally did get to a pitch count for Rowe, and Messmer came in, okay, I don't understand why they're taking the field.
According to our watches, and
we started 5 minutes late, and this is no. I take that back, because hold on. If we would have, it would have been 3:15 if we started on time. Oh. So we actually still have 5 more minutes.
All right.
See, look at that. They're playing so fast.
It's not about the score. It's about getting an hour 45.
Hey, I'm sending you another picture of the players we're going to have from the Little Saints.
The other side.
So Rowe is 3. I don't know what Van Dorn.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, here. Sorry. Here.
Okay, ladies, right here.
You have Van Dorn over here. So as well, we got a few more minutes left in this. Look at that! Look who came back to the mound. That's what I was talking about her, Miss Nielsen, the straight A student since middle school, which again, awesome to see. But yeah, she has just been an absolute beast.
Well, I just love
absolute beast.
That they can go to her anytime they need it, and my guess is she wants the ball.
Right, and she was on first base. And again, as a pitcher, like I said, it's that mindset. You get into a groove, you're throwing, coming back and forth. But man, Nielsen again, and like I said, just going into her junior year, it was thrown in the low 60s. I'm thinking by the senior with a little more training and obviously lifting, like you said, in training, that she could hit the mid 60s.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I don't have my radar gun with me. I actually should have brought it. That would have helped the college coaches at home. Definitely hitting 59 consistently with potentially some 60s and a 61 here or there. But she mixes it well. She hits her spots. And fields her position. So
yeah, Urkawa, I was going to say, hit it right back to her. And Megan Urkawa has actually had really good at-bats this game. I know she doesn't have, I think she was on base once, but doesn't have a lot to show. But her at-bats have been, to me, very solid. I mean, she's worked the counts well. And we'll see here. Man, look at that. I mean, going back up the middle. The only problem for her is like, Nielsen barely held that ball, and you saw on the replay there, just ripped it over to first base.
Well, and from being back here as well, I see the movement on her curveball. So some pitchers throw a curveball, they call it a curveball, it spins, but it doesn't move. Her ball is moving, so just an FYI.
And here is Kylie Messmer. Again, saw her for one batter. But right, you saw in the warm-up, and that's how she pitches. I saw last night in the spin. It's, yes, obviously it can be hit, but it takes and look at that, another hit for her. She goes the opposite way into left field. She'll round first, but she will stay there with the single. And
what a great two-way player. I think that's our 6th pitcher that we've talked about that's a two-way player.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really, really impressive.
And fittingly enough, this might be the last batter time-wise, and that is the first baseman for Little Saints, Ivana Bustamante, who takes a strike there.
So like I said before, I really like watching her. Now, I will tell you, she's probably swinging and missing a little bit more than I like, but those are adjustments that we can help her make as a college coach. The mechanics are there. She's got the power. She's got the athleticism. She just made the adjustment there. Would love to see her keep her hand just inside the ball more. She's probably relied a little bit more on her power than technique, but it's there. And as college coaches, we love tweaking. We love adding. We don't want a kid that's tapped out at this age. Give me a kid like that where I can make even better is who I'm circling and starring.
The 0-2 pitch, ground up the middle. Look at that. Nielsen goes to second, gets the lead runner. Oh, and they turn the double play. And it looked like there was, the 4th double play of the game. Looks like that was double clutched a little bit, but Nielsen didn't even hesitate, turns around, and again fires to second. And yes, that will be the finally. This is like playing baseball. We had 9 innings of softball. I mean, they can play 9 innings.
9 innings, great. I just would have preferred a tie ball game at 9, but I did like that. I like the Hotshots comeback. I like their adjustments. The Hotshots got down early and kind of often for 5 innings, but what you guys could see here is they never stopped fighting. They didn't give up. So those that didn't catch the first 5 innings, Little Saints went ahead early and often, but man, the Hotshots were within 1 run.
Oh, absolutely.
Good game.
So we are actually going to get to catch up with Amaya Boosted and Sarah Van Winkler for captain, and for Little Saints we will talk to Elena Van Dorn and Sydney Rowe. They are going to come up and chat with us. All right, so yes, they get to play 8 innings. See a 6-5 score, but we will be back with the players as, again, some just absolutely phenomenal highlights. You see them here. Great throw there, but we will be back. Well, we saw 8 innings in a showcase because you guys ripped through the time, but thank you, obviously, for coming up here. We're joined by Amaya Boustet and Sarah Van Winkler. Sarah, I got to start with you, man. You were all over the field. I mean, center field, making it look easy. Right field, making it look easy. I know the time off, and I was talking to the other girls about that, but for someone that plays as many positions as you do, I mean, how tough, obviously, was this break?
It was really tough for me mentally and physically. I mean, I really tried to work hard as much as I could. I went to hitting twice a week with my hitting coach, Ken Rice. He really helped me a lot, and I think that if I didn't go to him as much as I did, I wouldn't be where I am now, and I'm very thankful for him. And every once in a while, I would go out in the field and just field ground balls and just work really hard.
Yeah, again, when you're away from your and again, I'm a Husky alum. I've done a few of your games, too, at Horizon, so I've seen you obviously out in left field, too. But, I mean, even, like, coming back, too, it just seems – I know it goes – you've been playing, and people say, well, obviously, like, they're talented. But, again, these months off, not playing a school season, yes, you have time to do schoolwork. You have time to work out. You also have time to sit around a lot and do nothing if you choose to do nothing. But, I mean, coming back, just defense – you look like you've kind of gotten into a groove out there pretty quick. How does it feel?
Yeah, yesterday – I want to say I didn't do so well, so I wanted to reflect on that. And just today I've been trying to go over my mistakes that I made yesterday and just try to better myself and be mentally prepared for what was going to come.
And usually when seasons start, no matter it's traveling or obviously school, the pitchers usually seem to be ahead of the hitters anyway, just because, batting prep, but you're getting into different pitchers. Maybe last weekend, but the last few days, I mean, I was kidding around, but saying we had about 9,000 home runs I've seen hit. And if the bats were asleep last weekend, you guys woke them up this weekend. I mean, are you starting to feel more comfortable at the plate?
Yeah, definitely. I feel way more confident now, and now I'm mentally prepared for what's coming, yeah.
So I got to ask, too, because obviously you have different school teammates that are on different teams. So how many times have either one of you cheered for, like, a teammate from school and the rest of your teammates in the dugout are like, really? Because they're on the opposite team right now.
I definitely have several times. I'll like, especially my pitchers. I'll be like, "Hey, that's a good strike," and then I'm like, "Oh, that's not my teammate right now." But
I know it is funny. Okay, so this is not putting anybody in the bus. Who's the best trash talker on the team?
That's kind of hard.
And
we all kind of trash talk.
Okay. I appreciate the honesty in that. Well, hey, obviously, you guys, congrats. I know it's great to get back on the field. Just keep being safe. Come back in, obviously safely, but it is good to see you kids back on the field. And again, come on, more home runs. Let's go. And a few more, diving catches, too, since you guys make it look so easy.
Thank you.
Well, they played an awesome game, and now we are actually going to be joined from the Little Saints by Alana Van Dorn and Sydney Rowe, as they are going to well, congratulations. I mean, you played so fast. We started a few minutes late. I thought that maybe frustrated you a little bit, but you actually got through 8 innings of play because of the time. Sydney, I got to ask you, I mean, they were obviously a very aggressive hitting team, and you're, to me, a power pitcher. You're just like, fine, you want to swing right away, let's go. Early in the game, I mean, was that your mindset? Because they weren't taking pitches. They were like, we're going to hit.
So I was actually not nervous, but I was ready for them. I was excited. And I knew that they were going to be swinging, so I tried my best to let them hit the ball and get them to the places where I needed to be so that my team could make the plays.
And I know there was one little meeting at the mound. I think it was after, 2 doubles or runners on second and third. What was that meeting about? Because it just seemed like you were coming after him hard, and when you used your change up or something, it literally did freeze him. So was that the meeting at the mound about adjustments?
Yeah, it was mostly about adjustments. He just wanted to make sure that I could get a little break so that I could come back even harder.
And then obviously the time off. I mean, I've talked to the other girls, everybody for good reasons obviously had to be separate. I know you're practicing at home, but I mean, now to get back out here and finally see game pitching and playing defense. How's that adjustment been for you?
My adjustment has changed throughout the variety of the games, especially playing at shortstop. My team is always telling me, give yourself a little room. You want to have time to set your feet right, make a good throw, and position yourself in the best way possible to make a good play.
Well, and not being able to practice with teammates because, like I was saying to the other girls, you have so much time to. Yeah, you have to still how to do schoolwork, practice, but you still have a lot of time to sit around and do nothing, as a lot have said. So how did you balance that in the time off?
Are we talking about like?
Yeah, I mean, being not being able losing a school season. Obviously, everybody being separate from the pandemic. So I mean, I know you're practicing when, obviously,
right.
But you're not with teammates, and you have a lot of time to do your schoolwork, practice, and still sit around and do nothing. And
right.
Did you lose maybe a little motivation in wanting, I guess, to practice and stuff?
I'm not gonna lie, a little motivation might have been off, but as soon as I got to step on the field, I realized, like, look, this is what I really want to be practicing for after, all of our hard work together and seeing my teammates having fun. Like, that's the moments of time and of, like, what's brought me back into that motivation. Like, I want to be out there. I want to do this for my team. It made me realize, like, yeah, this is what I want for my future and for my teammates as well.
All right, so first, who's the best trash talker on the team? And it's not a negative thing. Who's the best trash talker on the team?
I don't know.
We don't really have much trash talkers.
Yeah.
Oh, the little say, yeah, okay. I get the theme you're going with. And how many times do you catch yourself obviously rooting for your teammate, but your school teammate that's on a different team, and you're like, oh, good, and then everybody starts looking at you like, really?
Yeah, I mean, it happens quite a bit. I mean, we'll be like especially like say like we're playing against another team and we know somebody from the other team and they get like a base hit. I'll be like, good game, like kind of keeping it low key, but at the same time we're still trying to.
So the rest of your teammates don't make you rake the field by yourself afterwards. Well, girls, congrats.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a very. Again, you didn't throw a ton of pitches. You were out there a long time, but did not throw a ton of pitches. So congrats on the win. We are going to get out of here because we do have the afternoon games coming up. And before we get out of here, definitely want to thank, obviously, our Floodstream production crew, David Heil, Alan Heil, Dennis Kayer, Kyle Ward, Forrest Sandifer, Jack Blow, obviously, for Coach Anna Welch, who joined us. Again, there's the afternoon games coming up. Don't go too far, about half an hour against us. We went a little long in the morning, but a lot of great softball. So don't go too far. We will have more action coming up here on Floodstream from the beautiful confines of Yavapai College, where, just so everybody's curious, yes, it's barely 80 degrees.